Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise tonight to ask my colleagues for an affirmative vote on House Bill 466, what we've come to call our liquor privatization plan. Mr. Speaker, there are no issues that unite Pennsylvanians like liquor privatization, the ability for Pennsylvanians to be able to buy alcohol like adults. Mr. Speaker, the city of Pittsburgh, the city of Philadelphia, the T in the middle, liberals and conservatives all want the ability to buy alcohol like they do when they go to the beach, like they want to whenever they go on vacation. They want to be able to do the same thing here in Pennsylvania. And Mr. Speaker, there's every manner of excuse offered for why we shouldn't privatize the liquor stores. Let's go through them. Loss of jobs. Loss of jobs. Mr. Speaker, with absolute compassion, we need to look at the liquor store employees and reassure them that they will find employment in other places, whether it's with the state of Pennsylvania, with the advantages given to them through House Bill 466, or whether it's in private industry. Mr. Speaker, can we imagine how we would have been as a body, say 150 years ago? Would we be sitting here defending the job of the town crier? Would we be sitting here saying that just because clocks and watches exist, we should keep the job of town crier? I think all of us would look at ourselves and think we looked silly. Mr. Speaker, it's no fault of those public sector employees that this system exists in the state of Pennsylvania, but it's time to rectify it. And Mr. Speaker, I would just say that this body and the federal bodies that govern this nation often make moves, often pass laws, often pass regulations that destroy industries across the Commonwealth, across the nation. Energy industries, coal mining. We do not hear the same outcry about the loss of jobs in the oil industry, in the gas industry, with coal, with energy. Government takes action all of the time that affects private industry. Why this specific care here? We hear that this is going to create a loss of revenue for our state. Mr. Speaker, by all accounts, the liquor store system over the last dozen years or so has provided, outside of tax revenue, between $60 and at most $100 million of P&L to the state. And Mr. Speaker, whenever we switch that industry over to the private sector, when we give the private sector the ability to invest in their stores, to hire new employees, to build out, that profitability will come back to the state of Pennsylvania in the form of new payroll taxes. It'll come back to the state of Pennsylvania in the form of new hires. It'll come back to the state of Pennsylvania with increased sales. And Mr. Speaker, we hear about that having Pennsylvanians have the ability to buy alcohol like adults will somehow lead to more alcoholism in Pennsylvania, or that'll somehow lead to more drunk driving deaths. Well, Mr. Speaker, with Pennsylvania's current state-controlled system, Mothers Against Drunk Driving ranks Pennsylvania the fourth worst state in the nation. It is a statistic we should be ashamed of. But Pennsylvania is listed as the fourth worst state in the nation for drunk driving deaths, drunk driving fatalities. Mr. Speaker, there is no link. There is absolutely no link between increased alcohol problems and the ability to buy that alcohol not from the state of Pennsylvania. Mr. Speaker, we have a great opportunity tonight. We have a great opportunity to bring Pennsylvania out of the dark ages, to get rid of an archaic system that's been in existence for far too long, and to give Pennsylvanians something that they want, whether they are Republican, Democrat, in the city or in a rural setting, and that is the ability to buy alcohol like an adult. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.